So, I found some strange coincidences to Kobe Bryant, and I have a theory on his death. But, so some of the research I did on him, I'd come up with where his name came from, which both of his parents know about Kobe beef, and that's a Japanese beef. They seen it on a restaurant menu and decided to name him that, so he's named after Asian beef. I found that coincidental. But I found out that it didn't take him long to make a name for himself. When he joined the NBA straight from high school, he won 5 championships, like the 5-pointed star. He scored 60 points his last game, like the 6-pointed star. In 2003, he was accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel employee. The charges were dropped in 2004 due to a civil suit where he, in my opinion, might have bribed the girl so they could settle it out of court. But he did admit to having sex with the accuser, but he viewed it, in his words, as the encounter felt consensual. In my opinion, of course anything would feel consensual on opposite day where no is yes, but just my opinion. Much of Bryant's money was made outside of the basketball through endorsements like Nintendo, Turkish Airlines, Sprite, Nike. His net worth, quote unquote, was $600 million before Nike. But before Nike, he was also sponsored by Adidas. But the fact that he was worth $600 million, in my opinion, is again just like the 6-pointed star. With his Adidas sponsor, his partnership extended to Alibaba companies like Me. He was also sponsored by Apple. He was also sponsored by Lenovo, where he ran a Chinese TV ad, which is a Chinese TV company. Sinya, which is a Chinese web-based company. He also created Granity Studios, and he had a venture capital firm, and he was also half of the co-founder of Bryant Stibel, which some of the companies and ventures and interesting stuff I'm gonna go into in just a moment about Bryant Stibel are a little too coincidental for my liking. But Bryant Stibel is basically a company between Kobe Bryant and Jeff Stibel. So, what if Kobe knew too much because of his company, Bryant Stibel? What if he was too connected to too many people and knew too many secrets, and they felt like they had to cut the head off of the snake? I mean, his nickname is the Black Mamba, but a lot of the people that he worked with were mostly from China, some from Korea, and basically it was a whole diversity group, but a lot of them had severe ties back to specific parts of the country. And then Bryant also co-founded, I want to say he co-founded the Lifeboat Foundation. You know who else was associated with the Lifeboat Foundation? Jeffery EpiPen. My Jeffery EpiPen and the Israeli Mafia is going to be coming after this video. It's a screen record of somebody else's video, but it's nonetheless extremely interesting. So I'll get that out within the next hour or two.
So Lifeboat is a non-profit think tank. It seems that they are still very active. They post like 10 new articles a day. However, when I called the phone numbers associated on their website, they linked me to random companies that have nothing to do with Lifeboat.
No, I'm sorry. You're reaching Grizzly Industrial.
No, which one?
This used to be the phone number for the Lifeboat Foundation?
No, no.
So to summarize, I don't think Lifeboat as a whole supported Jeffrey Epstein, but he probably made some valuable connections there. It just ties into the point of this video that Jeffrey Epstein most likely has an underground facility built somewhere.